Welcome to Ecoboost, an IIG product. Ecoboost are IIG's embedded software enhancements for the Sage 100 Cloud ERP platform. Today we're going to go over the warehouse management system. As part of features of this product, you have the ability for each bin to track quantity of each item stored and committed to sales orders. System commits quantity in the bin at the time of order entry or the peak ticket printing based on settings in the multi-bin program. Available options are by receiving dates, if you want to process and ship the products that you've received earliest, and then move on to the others. Bin priority, or the smallest quantity in a bin, so if you want to free up some bins. We also provide support for traveling bin. Basically, you assign a traveling bin to a pallet, and you have the ability to assign the traveling bin to an actual bin location in the warehouse. And as you move items, either transfer or receive to the traveling bin, you have the ability later by just moving that traveling bin from one location to the other, with it move all the parts. If you're you're pulling some products for staging as an order, or if you're pulling some product for manufacturing order, you can put them on a pallet, and as you move the pallet, all the products are moved from one location to the production floor. We provide support for wave picking, so you can have multiple pick and drops for a sales order handled by the system. We provide all the functionality of the order pick, pack, transfers, both on Sage 100 workstations as well as PDA devices. Then from the PDA, what you've processed on handheld devices, you have the ability to process your shipping data entry. We support for UPC code, so you can assign a UPC code to different configuration of an item, a box each, and by just entering that UPC code in the shipping program, you have the ability to automatically load that many of that quantity. We have support for palletized shipping, as well as support for bill of lading generation, whether it's fixed bill of lading or others. With that, I'm going to start showing you the program. So to do this, I'm going to enter a couple of orders into the system. So you're looking at the Sage 100 order entry program, and I am going to enter orders for customers 01 ABF. And one of the things I'm going to show you is that I have the ability to just enter either the item itself or the what I've assigned to the item. In this case, the H252 to this item by this. This is basically Sage 100 functionality. I have the ability to just enter the assigned number to it, and it will automatically load the item into the order. So once I accept this, I'm going to just enter one other order quickly into the system. So I have two orders to process as part of my demonstration. Again, I'm going to enter, and here I'm going to enter the code again. No. Late. Okay. So notice that it shows that there's no allocation of a bin to this item. So I can do one of two things. I can either click here and auto allocate the quantity from a bin, and the system would go ahead and do that. Or I can, as I'm printing the pick ticket, I can have the system allocate and assign inventory. So here in this example, and this could be set up as part of my form, so that the settings are automatically set, but I can have the system at the time of pick ticket printing allocate inventory from bins to these sales orders based on the setting that we discussed, which is the smallest quantity bin priority, or when you receive based on the receiving date. So as I generate this, the system would go ahead and assign bins to this item. In this example, it assigned these two bins to these orders. Now, one of the things I want to show at this time is that we add programs to the system, which would show you at any point in time what you have available and or in a bin, or look at an item and see where are all the bins that this item stored in. In this example, we'll see quantity committed on hand of this bin in each one of the orders. In here, we've committed 38 out of this bin, 978. So as I put this, my orders through the pick and pack process, the quantity committed would be decreased as I move it from this bin to the cart or the forklift, and the same thing with the quantity on hand, and the forklift quantity would be increased and things of that sort. I also have the ability to bring up a bin and see where are all the items, which items are stored in that bin. In this example, this bin has in it 36 of this item and so forth. So it's maintained. It actually clears out the bins with zero quantity. They're not permanently assigned. So I'm going to put the order to the order pick and pack process. So the same, we're going to look at the functionality on the Sage 100 workstation, and we can have forklifts, carts defined. So if I select the forklift, then I can either scan the order or I can just enter the order. And if I put that order to the order pick process, the system, as I click on the lookup, would show me which bin number I need to go to first. And basically, when I get there, it would show me what item is in that bin. So I will basically process that. At any time, I could see what I need to pick up of each item in that bin if I don't have it printed. And we have the ability to actually suggest what needs to be picked. Now, once I pick up that item and I click here, it would show me the next bin that I need to go to, and so forth. And I'll be able to select that item and basically select that. Now, if I have the ability to scan the item or the UPC code, and the system will process. So once I do that, I can basically now I move the item. So if I go back to my inventory, and I'll be able, so showing you where the item is, and I bring up any one of these items, the quantity would be removed from the bin and will be added to the forklift. Now the forklift had 12 of it, now it has 24 committed and 24 on hand. So as I move it from the forklift and drop it in the shipping area, quantity would be accordingly updated. So if I go back to my order pick program, I can drop it. So the idea here is that you have folks with carts or forklifts going to different orders. In this example, we're not doing wave picking, we're just processing the order, picking up from the bin and dropping in the shipping area, and the person from the shipping station will process the order. So if I bring up, enter a bin called shipping to identify the shipping location, I can do a drop all, and it would know that I dropped all my items into that location, and the shipping location. I can have shipping station 1, 2, 3 each set up in the system, or I can just have one shipping area. So if I go back to my bin display and to my various displays that I have in the system, in this case the item display, and bring that up, now it will show that that product got decreased from the forklift, and I got added to the shipping station. So at any time, the system manages what I have, where the order is, and so forth in the system. Now, if I go to the shipping station and bring up that program, the shipping data entry, bring up that order, and bring up my order 183. There are various ways I can process that. I can just select the item and click here, and it would load what's been basically picked by the warehouse management system. It would load it in here. I can scan the UPC code. We mentioned that we allow you to assign UPC code to different configuration of the item. So I can come in here in the inventory management and look at the UPC code setup. And bring that item up, and I can see that I have assigned this UPC code to 1,000 quantity of this item. Of course, in the unit of measure maintenance, I've assigned quantity of 12 to the dozen. So I have a number that if I basically come to the shipping data entry program and scan that item in, so in that case, it would be scanning the UPC code. And I check the auto increment, basically the system Notice that for each scan, it assigns a quantity of 12. Now, if I click on auto, it would basically knows that the inventory for that item was in bin 12, so it would automatically assign it. So basically, for each time I scan that UPC code, the system would increment the quantity by 12 and let me do another scan. And so again, if I did not want to scan the quantities, I could have just clicked here and it would automatically load what's in the what's been picked into the item automatically. So I could do that in this example and just click on it and it would load the 12, including the bin that was assigned. So I could either at the time, if I don't want to go through the process of rescanning at the type of shipping entry, I just click on this icon, it will load the item and bin from what was processed by WMS, or otherwise I can start scanning and it would system would show me what. So as far as cases, I have the ability to, as part of this 24, let the system know what I put in each case. So I can say quantity per case, I put in 4 per case. It knows it was quantity of 24. So the system will automatically create for me the packages that are needed for that. And it's put them on pallet number 1, but notice the package went to 7 because I told it I put 4 in a box. It was quantity of 24, so it processed that many. So I can do the same thing, basically go through, and here I can see that my pallet 1, what items it has on it. These are the 6 boxes that are placed on a pallet 1. If I want to move one of them to a different pallet, I could do that. The system would allow me to enter next pallet and basically tell it that this box went on the next pallet. So not only now I have 2 pallets. On this pallet I have those orders, and on the other pallet I have just that 1 box, and I can then process my next order similarly and basically go to the process of managing my different shipment as to what's put in each one of the boxes and so forth and so on. So again, we let you manage pallets. What you put in each pallet, we work with the system. Now the same functionality, we're going to basically accept this and process the order. We did not process the second item. So we basically going to go to print a pick ticket for, to process the allocate bins to our second order. And we need to go back and print the pick ticket to allocate it. If you recall the first order, we've assigned basically from order entry, we ran the program which would assign the bin location for the second order. The first order we've not allocated bins to, so for that I'm going to print the program and have the system allocate inventory to it. And in this case I have a quantity of 12 of one item that got assigned, and basically 4 of the other. So on this, to process this and show the processing of this, I'm going to go to the actual handheld program and bring up the order in the handheld system. So the same order pick and pack process that is available on the handheld device. So if I do the order pick and notice that I have the ability to do the same. So by setting, you can have it default the forklift, or in here I'm going to process as a cart 2, and I'm going to put the order number 182, and the same order pick and pack process that's available in that it will tell me go to this bin and which item I'm picking. I can select that and basically put in my quantity. Then the system, when I click on it again, it would show me the next bin that I need to go to, and I would go to the next bin. And at any time, if you click on the item, look up again, it will tell you if there's any more of that item left to be picked, or the entire quantity has already been picked. So again, you do the order pick and pack. When you get to the shipping area, you can do the shipping bin and do a drop haul, and the item will be dropped. Well, similarly, we let you do bin transfer programs where the transfers are done in one step. I'm sorry, they're done in a pick and drop in 2 steps, but they're done immediately, so you do not need to actually run any kind of register. If the folks on the handheld process the transactions, they can enter which forklift they're using and start picking items from which bin what item, and then they would have the ability to drop it either to individual bins or all in one bin, and the system would basically do the update in one shot for the system. So this is a quick overview of the system, and all the other programs, physical count entry, transaction entry, palletized shipping entry, they're all available both on the Sage 100 as well as the workstation where you receive the product, it automatically received in the receiving bin. Then from the receiving bin, you can move it to other location. For more information about this product, please reach out to us at IIG to schedule a specific demonstration. Thank you.